welcome to beginner's lesson number dos. All right, in this one we're going to talk about the E open chord and the A open chord. Now these are going to be really the only two of those first 5 chords we're going to learn, where we're also going to learn a minor version of that chord. And that's going to come in handy down the road when we start playing bar chords. Okay, don't worry about what those are right now. Our goal right now is to focus on open chords. Okay, so the first chord we're going to learn is an E chord. Let's turn my guitar up. All right, to make the E chord, we're going to use these 3 fingers again. We're going to put on the 3rd string from the bottom with our pointer finger on the 1st fret. These 2 fingers are going to go on the 4th and 5th strings at the 2nd fret, and then we're going to strum all 6 strings. That is an E major chord. Okay, so let's do an E minor chord. This is very easy. In this case, all we're going to do is lift our pointer finger up. Now we have an E minor chord. Now listen to the difference. Okay? Sounds kind of sad, huh? So that's the way you kind of think about a minor and a major chord. A major chord is going to be, say, your happy chord. And if I'm sad, I'm going to play a minor chord. Okay? Okay, and that is the E chord. All right, A chord. We're going to use, you have the choice, you can use the first 3 fingers or this from your middle finger to your pinky. If you have bigger hands, I would recommend maybe using the pinky, but also to my students I recommend using the pinky because it's going to help down the road, especially when we're looking at bar chords. But learn to play them both ways. Okay, so with the first set, just using these 3, all on the 2nd fret. Okay, we're going to put the pointer finger on the 4th string from the bottom on the 2nd fret. We're going to put the middle finger on the 3rd string from the bottom, and our ring finger is going to go on the 2nd string from the bottom. So you got to kind of crowd them in, okay? So let's see, and then you strum from the 5th string down. We're not going to play the top string. Okay. If you're going to use your pinky finger instead, everything just kind of moves up a string. Okay? So your middle finger goes on the 4th, your ring finger goes on the 3rd, and your pinky goes on the 2nd. Okay? Now, to make an A minor chord, another reason I recommend using your pinky is I can use this finger. So I'm going to lift my pinky up, and I'm going to put my ring finger on the 2nd string on the 1st fret. And again, listen for the sad sound. See that? And if I put my pinky down, so I can quickly go between them if I need to. Okay. And that is the E and the A chords. Okay. Now you can do the same thing with an E chord by using your pinky and ring finger on the 5th and 4th strings respectively, with your ring finger on the 5th, your pinky on the 4th, and put your middle finger on that 3rd string and play it, because that's going to come in handy when we start talking about bar chords like okay. So that's going to come down the road. Again, pause the recording after each note, and then what I want you to do is use that 60 beats per minute and start with just down strums until you get it, and then go back to up and down. So you're going to be counting kind of like 8 notes, right? You know, it's kind of going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? And then build that up, and then where you okay, and get to that 90 beats, 100 beats, 110 beats, 120 beats per minute. Okay? So again, remember to do that. All right? In the next video lesson, now that we've covered all of those chords, we're going to talk a little bit about strumming and holding the guitar a little bit more. Just so you kind of get an idea of how to hold it and understand, 5 minutes of practice a day of just playing the chords, It'll seem mundane at first, but the more you do it and the more you get used to playing them and how to finger them, you'll be able to make those. Because you may have noticed the difference between an E minor, and here an E, right? My E major. A minor, all I do is shift everything down one string. Okay, so, but at this point, you want to just get used to, strumming each of those chords. And once you are comfortable and familiar with those, start working on moving between chords and transitioning between chords. The one thing I'll recommend, and we'll get into this in the strumming one, is use that last upstroke to move your fingers. It'll happen so fast no one will hear those empty strings just playing. So you can go from a G chord and then now listen when I do that last upstroke. Didn't really hear it. Once you just kind of build it into the mix, especially if you're playing with other guitarists and drummers and things like that. So again, once you start and you're comfortable and you know how to finger all of those open chords, the G, the C, the D, the E, major and minor, and the A, major and minor, and then go and start working on transitioning between the chords. It doesn't matter which chords you transition between or what order you do them in. Because songs have chords all over the place and in different, sequences and different ways that they're going to play it. So just learn to kind of start going between chords. All right. Any questions, comments down below? I'll also post an update on Facebook when I get these lessons open and add it in there so that you guys can start looking at them. And message me on Facebook if you have any questions. Check you out later.